Biology Part 127. The world around us is unfolding itself. We are in a process of knowing the things every now and then. We have a different story to realize. We have a different fact to be known. And we find very interesting things happening around us. Sometimes we can justify the happenings. On the other occasions, we can't justify the happenings. And that's true to our knowledge. If we talk about art, if we talk about literature, it's not just the knowledge that appeals to art. It's not just the knowledge that appeals to literature. These are senses, the aesthetic sense, the sense of perception. Well, do we really have the knowledge of our aesthetic sense, artistic perceptions? No, we don't. In fact, we are in a process of developing it. We are in a process of confirming it. We are in a process of grooming it. But we haven't really reached the apex right now. It doesn't really mean that we are going in the wrong direction. Absolutely true that we are going in the right direction, but there are few things to be considered when we try to say something for the resolution, for the reality, for the serenity. See, only the other day, a week ago or a few days ago, or a couple of weeks ago, Indians made a claim that their Chandrayaan-3, I don't exactly know what is the name that they have given to their spaceship that landed the surface of the moon, or so-called claim of landing the surface of the moon. It's in fact, with the scientific evidence, it's in fact the basis of the science. And now the things have become very much real for those people who have been exploring it. There has been a counter-argument in the world that they established that probably the Indians didn't land their Chandrayaan-3. I don't exactly know what is the name of their spaceship. Their Chandrayaan-3 didn't land the surface of the moon, in fact. And they have shown the evidence for it. They've in fact shared it as well. The Chinese in fact have made a probe into it, and they have established a counter argument on it that the Indians didn't land the surface of the moon. Of course, I don't record this video to say everything against India or anything against China. Well, I just want to share it with, well, we have such developed scientific structures all along with us. There are arguments and counter-arguments as well. In fact, the race for the space exploration since 1960s has been subject to such miseries, such confusions. Even when the Americans landed in 1969, and they made a claim that they had landed the surface of the moon in 1969. At that time, Richard Nixon was the president, and the Apollo landed the surface of the moon, and it was Neil Armstrong, so to say, it was Neil Armstrong, an American scientist, to land the surface of the moon in 1969. it was rejected by the Soviets then, and not just by the Soviets but many of the other scientists as well around the world.